Dr. B here, and this is the last video in our series on the Mentally Strong Method. I'm Cristi Bundukamara, psychiatric nurse practitioner with a doctorate in healthcare education and just life experience that allowed me to create the Mentally Strong Method. So in the Mentally Strong Method, I've said in each video, I want you to remember 3 things. Do you remember? Think, organize, choose. We have 4 elements. The first element is about, really thinking and getting those thoughts out on paper and figuring out where they came from. Elements 2 and 3 are organizing that, and elements 3 and 4 are choosing what you're going to do with that information, because it's different in each of the categories. And so you've seen us go through several of the categories. We've got some other categories that I won't really talk about in this series, because substance abuse is a series all by itself. So we'll do that at a different time. Injustices and spiritual conflict, I'd like to do it another time. And so the other category that we see a lot when we are going through this process of the Mentally Strong Method is behaviors and choices. And why do I put this in a separate category? I put this in a separate category because there are some times that we are making choices, we are doing things that are actually contributing to maybe what's going on in our life, the stressors, the things that we're thinking about, but we're not making choices in line with what we say we want. So behaviors and choices, we often identify the obvious. Let's say, you have lung cancer and you're still smoking cigarettes, right? But you say you want to be healed from lung cancer. Are your behaviors in line with your choices? You want a good job, but you won't stop using substances that are not allowed in that job, right? Those are obvious. Your choices are not in line with what you say you want. But a lot of times we have to bring in our element 4, which is your personal vision. Your personal vision is different than a goal. A goal is like a task or a thing that you are going to try to accomplish and check off, right? A vision is, who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person, what kind of relationships do you want in your life? What kind of relationship do you want with your family? What kind of a person do you want to be in your career? Not what you want to be, but who you want to be. And so, a lot of times we'll bring in, kind of what is your vision for your life? And oftentimes people do not think this through. It is formative. It's developed through your childhood. You kind of take in, some of what your parents want you to be, then then your peers, and then maybe some of your desires as you grow. But oftentimes we're focusing on the what we want to be and not who we want to be. And so in the personal vision, we really try to focus on who do you want to be? And are your behaviors and choices in line with what you say you want to believe or what you say you want to be? So for example, I say I want a good relationship with my adult children. And I want them to love me and respect me, and I want them to feel my love and respect. I do love and respect them. And with some of my kids, I'm having a very difficult time with that. And, our personalities are clashing and they get upset at me. And so, I don't know if you know my story. I have 5 adopted and 2 biological, and some of my adopted children really have this kind of love-hate relationship with me. And, honestly, right now, that's in this hate form of relationship, and they're not, and when they get mad at me, they just don't talk to me. And so I feel powerless to fix the situation or to be who I want to be for them. So I have to work on myself, right? I have to choose to not react. I have to remember that my personal vision is to have a good, respectful, loving relationship with my adult children. And right now I have to choose to wait because they're not speaking to me, the 2 that I'm talking about. And so, but what happens is sometimes I get hurt from what they're saying or doing, and I want to get angry, or I want to choose to say forget it, or and this is where behaviors and choices come in. And if you're struggling with what you should choose to do, focus on your personal vision. What is your personal vision? And someone might say to me, or one of my girls might say to me, no, I don't want a relationship with you. Okay, that's not my personal vision. I have to respect where they are right now. But when I get an opportunity, I am going to try to move forward with my personal vision. I'm not going to sit and ruminate and be negative and forget my personal vision to have a healthy, good relationship with them. And so that's one example personally for me in behaviors and choices. We see this a lot in trauma. Someone who has been a victim of trauma begins to traumatize themselves, right? They choose to do things that they know hurt themselves because of, that negative self-talk, which is a different category, right? But we also still have to own our behaviors and choices, the things that we're doing that are just not making us healthy. They're not working towards who we say we want to be. And again, so this is why in the Mentally Strong Method, we think, organize, and choose. Because in the organization, it's important that we're treating things differently. Because I would never want somebody with trauma for them to think that they are choosing to feel the way that they feel, right? Because I'm not saying that at all. But you might be making choices, or that person who has had trauma might be making choices that continue to traumatize themselves. Maybe unconsciously. Maybe once we bring it to their attention, they continue to do it for a period of time consciously because they don't think that they're worth anything else, right? But that's that negative self-talk. And when it runs deep, it's the core connections. So there's all of these elements or categories in the Mentally Strong Method for us to separate and treat them differently, because they are different. Behaviors and choices we can make, and we can choose, something different anytime we want. One of the things that and another personal thing for me, I sometimes jokingly, as I'm personally struggling in my personal relationship with my husband, who has a terminal condition, and he's got a little bit of dementia, and he's struggling to move. And, when I'm thinking negative, which I already admit it happens, right? I think I'm stuck. And then I jokingly say I'm stuck by choice. So sometimes we choose to be in a situation that's difficult, but having insight into that, and is that your personal vision? For me, it is my vision to care and love my husband regardless, right? But maybe you're in a relationship that you feel financially stuck to your husband, but there's physical abuse or sexual or severe emotional abuse, and you're choosing right now to stay. Acknowledge it as a choice today, but each day you can make a different choice, a small choice in a different direction, okay? And that's why these things are separated. There's no right and wrong per se, right? It's this journey of mental strength. What are the choices that you're supposed to be making? And this is why, a lot of people come to counseling and they want advice. What should I do? It's not my job to tell you what you should do, right? And we have so many people that are like, oh, you should leave your husband, or you should do this. And they're not looking at the whole picture. So whatever your situation is, maybe you want to choose something different, but you really feel like you can't choose that today. Just acknowledge that. It's a choice. I am choosing to stay, or I'm choosing whatever today because that's what's best for me today. That's what I think is best for me today. Maybe tomorrow I'll choose something different, or maybe I will make a plan to be able to choose something different in the future. That's why it's important to have those personal visions. So you know, am I making choices in line with what I say I want? I want to be a good, supportive wife. So that's what I need to choose. And so I have to remember that when I'm feeling negative and I'm feeling stuck, right? So wherever you are, whatever choices you are making, if they're being made with insight and in this journey of mental strength, then it's what's right for you today. And keep moving forward in that. I truly believe that we all can grow, that we can all be on this journey of mental strength. Follow us on our app, follow us on social media, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just start this journey of mental strength. Let's do this, because I truly believe that you are mentally strong.